So continuing on, we understanding the battle between the godly soul and the animal soul. So the animal soul wants to express its desires in thought, speech, and action, but it can't because the godly soul won't let it reign over the small city. Meaning, the animal soul does not give up. Its constant lust for physical matters and want to express its four evil elements of fire, water, earth, and air, that continues happening. It's constantly saying, hey, can we do this? Hey, suggestion, that cookie over there. Suggestion, let's just gossip about that one person. Like, it's constantly, burning within this Bainani, this struggle. But yet, because they are the Bainani, this category of person, the godly soul continues to have complete rule over our thoughts, speech, and actions over the small city, the body. So what will happen is that the animals will send thoughts about ways to attain or rationalize its desires to the brain. Yet we say the godly soul has total reign over thoughts. That's really confusing, right? So if the animal soul is constantly, sending rationalizations of like, oh, I don't like this girl because in second grade she did this and this to me, which was really just my emotions being dressed up in intellect and sent to the brain. So how can we say that the Bainani's constantly having control over their thoughts, speech, and actions if the animal soul is going to have to express itself through thought? And this is a magical piece of information, completely life-changing, groundbreaking stuff here. Is that you are not responsible for the first thought that pops into your head, because that's just the animal soul voicing its opinion on the table. That's not the animal soul conquering the small city. That's just saying, hey, have a suggestion over here. Choose me, choose me. So if I choose to indulge in that thought, I'm not in the state of being the Bainani. But if I say, I know where that thought's coming from. I'm just trying to rationalize my emotions right now. I just need to feel my emotions, right? I don't need to rationalize them. Meaning, are you allowed to feel your emotions? 100%. But I'm going to dress up my emotions and pretend that they're intellectual. I'm not doing a favor to my emotions, nor am I just corrupting my intellect, right? That's not how real healing comes from rationalizing it. It comes from actually dealing with emotions in their source. So meaning, when I have that first thought of, ugh, I really don't like her. And then I'm like, oh, I'm such a bad person. What's wrong with me? That's not the godly souls. That's not the way to approach it. Versus, oh, a thought just popped into my mind. I'm not responsible for that thought. That thought is just the animal soul expressing itself. Do I want to choose? Now I have a moment of actual choice. Do I want to choose to go deeper into that thought and, really rationalize why I don't like that person? Or do I want to say, that's not the thought I had on the menu. I want to go with a godly soul thought of what a beautiful day it is and how grateful I am for this moment. And wow, I have hands. Thank you, God. Right? Like, I want to go back to positivity. And so we do not need to judge ourselves for the negative, freaky thoughts that enter our minds at all. Our job is to ignore those thoughts and go back to just being godly soul to letting the godly soul run the show here. So the Bainani superpower is head over heart. It's the ability to know that no matter what emotions are going on, I can always think a positive thought, think a godly thought, get back in my prefrontal cortex. And so one way I like to do this is just whenever I notice my emotions are about to run over and, jump the whole system here, is to count 10 blue things. Because if I'm doing any form of math or arithmetic, I'm in my prefrontal cortex, godly soul headquarters. And if I am freaking out, that's going to be my amygdala, okay? Animal soul rationalization type thoughts. So every person with intellect was given the ability to have self-control through allowing their head to rule over their heart. It's in a person's power to divert his attention completely from that which his heart craves and turn his attention to the exact opposite direction. Meaning, it doesn't matter how powerful that first thought was. We are all given the ability to have head over heart to say, yes, I hear the animal soul tugging at me. I hear that thought. I know I'm not choosing to delve into it. If I'm going to wrestle with someone who's muddy, I'm going to get muddy. So even just wrestling with that thought and analyzing it and realizing, where is this coming from? I'm already getting too involved with it. My power is head over heart. Think a new positive thought. I have the power to go in the exact opposite direction. Okay, so this is a really beautiful quote. Then I saw that wisdom surpasses folly as light surpasses darkness. This is by Shlomo HaMelech, King Shlomo, and Kohelet. Okay, one more time. I saw that wisdom surpasses folly as light surpasses darkness. Meaning, just like light doesn't need to struggle to conquer darkness, just by it being there, it already won. It's the same thing with a godly soul. We do not need to be wrestling with the darkness of the animal soul. All we need to do is express light. Light is the wisdom of the godly soul. As soon as we think godly thoughts, what are we automatically doing? We are shining wisdom. And the moment wisdom is expressed, folly disappears. I don't need to start wrestling with those rationalizations of my animal soul. and start psychoanalyzing myself in that moment. Really, all I need to do is tap into the godly soul's wisdom, tap into the wisdom of Torah, and in that moment, the folly, the the blinders of the animal soul will automatically be washed away. So I think this is really beautiful to remember, that when we feel like, oh no, here comes this negative thought, shoot, I need to start wrestling with it and going through it and analyzing myself and what's wrong with me that I had this thought. No, just use the light of your divine soul. Use the innate godly wisdom within you. And just by shining that, just by getting back to a place of head over heart, that's going to automatically, instantaneously chase away folly, just like light chases away darkness. And we say that a person only sins because of folly. It's only because we start going to the rationalizations of the animal soul and really indulging those thoughts that leads that our entire system to be hacked by the animal soul. But as long as we allow ourselves to stay in this place of head over heart, of prefrontal cortex, of then we're able to be the Beinoni, we're able to win. Thank you for taking the time to learn today's Tanya together.